All right, so we're going to talk about why most PTs never make it to 10K months.
Yeah.
And how to solve it.
Easy.
Because, that's the standout PT promise.
Yep. In less than 30 hours a week.
10K months, 30 hours a week, hybrid model.
Yep.
Online and face-to-face. So what do you think? How would you define a real 10K month coach? What does a week in the life of a 10K per month coach look like?
Yep. A 10K a month coach will operate their business knowing that it's not just about serving their clients. It is about getting leads through the door. It's about making sales. It's about serving those clients. It's about keeping them. And then it's also about understanding, why they're staying as long as they're staying and why they've potentially left.
Yep.
So you don't do those things like kind of as they pop up or as you need them. You do them all the time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Can you be a 10K a month coach just being good at your job?
You can. You're just really fucking tired. And you can only do it, like how we talked about the, like in the last podcast about
the training. Yeah.
Yeah, the guys that go to the gym 6 days a week for a month and then take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
That's the same scenario, but you don't take the 2 weeks off. You're just sad and tired all the time.
Yeah.
And then you just buy, because I know I did it. Like I worked my ass off and I had really shit systems and I made great money. And then I would just be so tired on the weekend, I would just buy shit to fulfill the void of me being tired but not having the energy to do anything else.
Yeah.
And then you go to my house now, it's like, why do you have 50 hats? Because I used to buy them buy my feelings,
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could do it, but there's just such an easier way to run a business,
I think most people will see a drop off. So what happens is you're good at your jobs, you get clients, then you get too many clients, so you stop being good at your job, and then you lose clients. And I think most people live in that circle.
Absolutely.
That repeated kind of
It's not scalable
cycle.
Either. Like no one wants to just get to 10K months and be like, I completed it, mate.
I'm done, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can't scale it. Like that would literally be the ceiling because you're like, if you just did the time for money,
even then,
you can't even squeeze anymore though.
Yeah.
Like you can squeeze to that.
Yeah.
But you can't.
That's it. You're done. And I think the hardest part is if you get there doing that, undoing it's so hard.
Yeah.
So hard. I'm working with a guy at the moment who just hit 10, wants to get to 15, but just hit 10, has a little one, family, and like I tracked his hours. He's working 55 hours a week.
Yeah.
Time to train. Time with your family, like there's nothing left, man. And then not only that, to undo it, there's so many like still taking cash, selling packs, fucking like can't block out time. No one's service is the same, so not everyone uses the app, not everyone does a check-in, not everyone does. So it's like cool. So how many of your clients can we move online? Fuck, not many because none of them use the system. And then it's like cool. So we're gonna move everyone online and then hope that we can reshuffle. Like it's really challenging if you drive there through grit to then fix it.
Absolutely.
And then you obviously have the fear, which obviously you experience too with the change of online and all that kind of stuff. Turning people away when you're really good at your job and you pride yourself on being good at your job to then say, I don't take face-to-face anymore.
Yep. Identity crisis.
It's hard work. So a week in the life, I think the only thing you didn't, how I would encapsulate what you said is you would have a time of the week that you are the operator of your business.
Yep.
So when you're taking sessions, when you're maybe consultants in sales, you're doing sessions, you're doing check-ins. You're writing programs, you're writing diets. That you are being an operator. Most personal trainers are operators all the time. To get to 10K months, you need to be a business owner, and then you also play the role as the operator.
Yep. So
what that looks like, what does a business owner do? All the things that you said. So they're going to check all their data the start of the week. Our mentors call them KPIs, but it's like we do a weekly check-in with our businesses, individually and as a whole, every single week. So what's the performance like in sales? What's the performance like in marketing, in retention? What's the health of the finance of the business? Actually sitting down as the owner, being like, okay, what needs to get done this week? And then what are my duties as, if it's just you, head of marketing, what needs to happen this week? Do you need to write a campaign? Do you need to get content out? Do you need to get an email out? Like, what needs to be done for the business this week as the head of marketing?
Yeah.
And if you think of it like that, like you said, from a scalability standpoint, that's when down the road you can be like, well, I could get a VA to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
So then that frees up 5 hours of my time, whether you choose that to go play golf or be an operator more often if you love your job. So then you got the marketing, then you got sales. All right? You're the salesperson. The DMs, the booking the consults, the doing the consults, the closing, the onboarding. Okay? When are you doing that? I think the one we always leave out is the admin.
Yeah.
Because
It
we
gets
get
done
taken care of for us. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
So you also need to carve out time for processes, procedures, emails, excuse me, dealing with all that kind of stuff. So is there any other hats? You got admin, marketing, sales, operator, member care.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
Yeah. All the time.
Correct. And that's your weekly structure, not sometimes I'm looking at this, sometimes it's like you need a repeatable kind of play every single week. Nice. I like it. Why do you think most PTs stall at $2,000?
Because the way they got there, they think that that's the way they're going to get through it. So it's like what it took you to get to $2,000 a week isn't going to take you to 3, 4, whatever. It's like something's got to change.
Yep.
You know, you can kind of, we've spoken about it in the past, like you can grit your way to 100% grit your way to $1,000, grit your way to 15, probably 2's like the upper echelon, and then you're starting to feel a bit fucked, a bit tired, a bit fatigued, a bit like, can I do this forever?
Yeah.
So like anything above that, it's like, can't do it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little bit of that like more mentality too.
yeah.
Like, I'll just post more.
Yeah.
I'll just train more people.
Yeah, it's the default for everyone though.
Mm.
Like it's the default for everything. It's like something's not working, let's do more.
Yeah.
And I think we've always done more, and it's like sometimes it just, that's not the answer.
Yeah.
Like we've moved the needle a lot, and then sometimes like we've made changes that haven't involved a lot of like manual work and effort that have still yielded the same net outcome as doing more work. So that is still a net positive.
Yeah.
Like
do you have an example of that?
So if I just look at like the way we operate our business now, so there's just like heaps of systems, like even some staff we've brought in, people who occupy different roles.
Yeah.
So we might make net the same per year. The business might make net per year the same profit, but it's not you and I doing 70-hour weeks every fucking week.
Yeah.
You know, sure, there's times where we've got to dig, but there were times when you and I were running around and didn't know the difference between our head and our asshole because we were so fucking tired.
Yeah.
And we were probably making the same as we are now, if not actually most likely less. Yeah. So sometimes the system can yield you a net same outcome from the bottom line.
Yeah.
But it opens up 10, 15 hours of your life so you can maybe scale or, dare I say it, do other shit.
It's interesting coming from our backgrounds, and a lot of people I work with seem to be the same. There's almost like a guilt. I don't know if it's guilt or what it is. Maybe you can help. There's a feeling that comes with doing less that feels wrong.
Yeah, especially when it's yielding more too. Feels like you're a bit icky.
Yeah, like you fucked us a year ago, and we were playing golf on a Wednesday night, or 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
and you were like, "Are we gonna keep doing this?"
There's no way.
No,
but there was no way.
Answer.
There was absolutely no way because you had a kid. It's your fault.
Yes, that's on me.
The only reason it was solely that. Yeah, nothing to do with our workload.
I guess you still go every Wednesday, right?
Yeah, to the driving range for an hour. Like, it's not the same.
But that stage for us, I feel like was a little bit challenging. Well, letting go to go into that stage was a little bit challenging.
I still kind of have a little bit here and there now. Because like you've got a structured day and some of it's like an extra commitment like to your family, right? Like I have a similar structured day, but then there's time where I'm like,
yeah.
Like, yeah. So then sometimes I sit there and I'm like fucking pacing around the house and I'm like Like I said to Steph, I'm like, yesterday, I said, like I completed all my tasks.
Mhm.
You know, did all the shit I had to do. And then I said to Steph, like, I found work and then just doubled down on it. And I said, like, I was feeling guilty about not having the work, so I found some. But then I said, when I found the work, I actually was really locked in and I produced something really awesome. And then she said, but that's why you did. She said, because you didn't have
18 other noises.
the space like occupied by all these tasks. She said you were able to sit back and go, what does the business need right now? What are the people in Standout need? What does Jess need? And I made an incredible fucking product. An incredible resource.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah.
So it's a hard. So when you use that example, it's like it's hard to get to do less and get the same thing. But it's like the benefit of it is like you have time to just use your actual creative mind to bring something of like extreme value to the business that you probably wouldn't have if you were really tired and overworked.
It's interesting when I spoke about putting my workload into chat and my goals, and it was like, you can't do that.
Yeah. Watch me.
It was right.
Nah, of course.
2 days later, fire. Fuck.
Yeah.
I was kind of working through it, and my opinion right now is I need to have no more than 30 hours of work commitments per week.
Yeah.
To allow for 10 hours of stuff. And if I can do that, then that's where I'm going to be in the sweet spot.
That's fair.
So if it's 10 hours that turn into like 2 hours of putting out a fire or the extra couple of meetings or whatever, extra sales, that's fine. But then there's all of a sudden there's 3, 4, 5, 7 hours a week of that stuff. So that's when the business just exponentially moves forwards.
Yeah. But we're